Hello, welcome to Dark Night Healing. Today I want to talk to you about raising children and letting go, and all the fun things that go with that. I have 4 children. They're all adults now, between the ages of 18 and 30, or 27, I guess. I do have a stepson. He is almost 30, but I didn't raise him. Things that I've learned about raising children is, one, you're never going to get it right. Probably going to be the bad guy to at least one of them. They're going to be the villain to one of them. Every child gets a different version of you. And every child has a different position in life, amongst the family as well. And you know, it's hard, it's chaotic, especially when you have 4 children. My oldest, she was diagnosed with ADHD combined severe and a nonverbal learning disability, as well as a rigidity disorder, and that was many years ago, so she might have a different diagnosis by now. She was a very difficult child, and then I had 3 other very difficult children who went undiagnosed because of the severity of Ariel. They got missed. So it was very chaotic. Raising 4 children was very hard. You know, the older ones tried to help, you know, and when they got older, they were obviously bigger helps. As you know from previous videos, I was a Jehovah's Witness, so we didn't really go out or go to parties. We never drank or anything like that. We went to work and we came home, so the kids really only had to babysit, you know, an hour and a half after school and an hour in the morning to make sure the kids got there. And you know, every once in a while we'd go off for a bit, an hour or 2, where they'd have to, you know, entertain each other. But you know, the girls were old enough and they were able to babysit and liked that responsibility. Although now that they're adults, some of the interesting stories that children will tell you when they get to be adults of what they did, that's fun. But you know, it was chaotic. I had, on a good day, maybe 3 meltdowns with children. You know, you never got a day without a meltdown. When you have 6 people living together, there's always one person having a bad day. For the most part, having a day that didn't have a meltdown was pretty rare, and I lived for those days. It was very stressful because my mother also worked very much against me, telling my kids not to listen to me, and told my daughter she didn't need her medication, and caused a lot of issues that also resulted in the behavioral problems in my home, as you know, and so many other things that she did to interfere that caused so many problems, and it was really difficult. The children, although I don't believe they meant malice, but they used to use, you know, people against us. They would go to my parents while we were witnesses and tell them that we didn't allow them to celebrate Christmas, so they would come to my house and have a huge fight with me on Christmas, and yell and scream in my house, and almost throw fisticuffs in my house with my husband. And then And then the kids would go to the elders of the congregation and tell them that we weren't allowing them to go to Bible study. And then the elders would come and give me reproval and tell me that I was being a bad parent because I wouldn't let my children go to dog. And like, these are the kinds of things that I had to deal with. And then, you know, and then that wasn't just that. Then they go use dad against me. Dad said yes, so we can do it. Like, it was so hard. And then the meltdowns could be screaming, fighting them, trying to beat me up, bite me. One of them used to slam their head into the floor repeatedly until I gave in. My mom even actually changed the flooring, got rid of the carpet in her house, and put down tile. And I said, you do realize you have a granddaughter who slams her head into the floor every time she throws a hissy fit. And my mom said she'll only do that once. So that's kind of how I grew up. And so it was very chaotic, and, you know, it was so hard, and I really did my best all the time. And when I learned better, I tried better. I did better. And I defended and fought and did everything I could to do my best as a parent and be better than what was before me. And it was hard. And it still is hard because I still am dealing with the effects of that, even though they're adults, and even though my mother is not in my life anymore, it's still healing from the 36 years of trauma that it induced. It doesn't go away overnight. I've done a lot of healing in the last 10, 11 years, and it's hard, but I did have a major setback recently, finding out that some of my healing wasn't actually healing. It was a mask, and the other person was just pretending that we were moving forward. And that's okay. The truth is out. That's fine. I can accept that, but I won't chase people for attention, and I won't ever beg for it. No, I won't. I won't ever beg for attention. If you want me, you know where I am. I've said my apologies, and I can't do more than that. All I can do is do better, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to help others do better too. So I'm learning to let go of, again, the outcome, the illusion of the outcome that I wanted, and the pain that goes along with that. It's hard because I didn't want to have kids or get married as a child. I felt I would screw the kids up, and I would be not good, toxic. And that's probably a lot to do with my mom and her relationships, but also what she said to me as a person and how I would be. But I'm letting it go, and I'm letting them go. I don't need them in my life like that. You are my children, and I love you, and I will always love you. And I will always have the best memories of all my kids. And they used to fight over whether I have a favorite, and I don't. I don't have a favorite because each of my children is a unique person, and each of them have really great qualities, and they each have some qualities that I don't really like either. But that's just how life is. They're still my children, and I'm proud of them no matter what, because they're my children, they're my legacy, that's what I'm passing on. And they are doing better. So even if I'm not a part of their life, and that's how it has to be, and I have to be the bad guy, then I will. I'll be the bad guy. And I'm okay with that. It hurts. It does. It hurts a lot. But it gives my children a center focal point so they can have their healing. And they can begin their healing. I did some of that damage, and I accept that, and I'm greatly sorry for it, but I can't change it, and I can't make it better, and I can only say sorry so much, because I have to heal too. Children are our legacy, they're our DNA, they're our memory on this earth, passed down. As long as we have them and we have our stories and we speak about those who have passed and we don't let their memory die, we will continue to live. And that is the truth, because look at all the famous people who are dead because they're spoken about. Their memory lives on. So really look at yourself, examine yourself, let go of what needs to be let go. Children are not your property. They don't belong to us. They are of us, but they don't belong to us. And when you have to set them free, you have to set them free. Don't chase them. That's called stalking and harassment. And I wish my mother would stop. But let go. Let them go. Because if they're meant to be in your life, they'll come back. And that's for everybody. This is why we choose our family. Our kids didn't choose us. We didn't choose them. All we can do is do our best. And when we learn better, do better, and make amends for when we make a fuck up. Plain and simple. But that's what I've been dealing with. You know, as well as the identity of being a mother. Because although you'll always be a mom, your kids no longer really need you anymore. They just want you there. And having them want you there is the best fucking feeling in the world. There is no better feeling than your adult children wanting to be with you. Because they can choose otherwise. But you gotta let them go. You gotta do what's right for them, not what's right for you. So if this is something you're struggling with, I understand and I feel for you. And I hope that you are able to find the peace that you need within that. That's really all I wanted to talk to you about today. So I hope this reaches those who it needs to reach. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it is for you. Remember, we trust in spirit here. And we don't need likes, subscribes, or anything like that to make the messages go out. Those are just so that other people can get the message out if you feel so inclined. Other than that, spirit will send it to who it needs to go to. That's how we do things. Other than that, you all have a great day. We'll talk to you later.